Hello everyone, welcome to our new class, and today we will learn about the structured query language in MS SQL Server. As you have learned from the previous lesson, you have know about what is MS SQL Server, the installation, how to connect, and how to create a database and table, etc. And one more that you have learned is about the diagram relationship. Mean that you create a table and then you display in as a diagram. And today you will learn more about the SQL query language. That we have four main content. One is what is SQL Server, type of SQL fundamental, and type of join. Okay, so what is SQL Server? SQL is abbreviation of a structured query language that generally we use it for querying data in a relationship database, relational database management system. One more for the SQL statement in SQL Server is not so much different from another database query. So there are four types that we generally use in MS SQL Server or SQL statement. By one is DML, the abbreviation of it is data manipulate language. Second is DDL, DCL, and TCL. So DML we are focusing on four statements. One is like, second insert, fourth sort update, and for delete. And for DDL we are generally focusing on creating database, alter database, and drop the table or database. For TCL, for grant and revoke about the user, I mean you have you can control the user permission or association to work on database and table, and also in some SQL statement that you assign for the user. And for finally is TCL. So TCL we are focusing on the beginning, trend, commit, and rollback, etc. So for one, DML, data manipulating language. So we are focusing on four main statements as we mentioned above. By one is select statement. As select statement, you have learned more in the semester one. Mostly we use it to retrieve data from table with a single table or multiple table. Yes, and we also can use it to retrieve a single field or multiple field from a table. So for the syntax for select database, select data from a table, you have to use select statement. Example, you use select sky. I mean select a star from student. Yes. So first is select a statement that you have to assign first, and then you can specific field. If not, you can put star. From is a keyword from table. So student here is a table name. Actually, it can another table name that you can use, and you can assign where close. Yes, you can select star from student where, and this is condition. So you have learned more about it, so I'm not detailed about where close or group by or having close, etc. So for the second statement is insert. So insert mostly we use it to insert data into a table. Yes, so syntax is you use insert into table, and you can specific field name, and then value that has s open break, open break, and close break. You assign the value follow to the field that you put it. So for one more, if you not assign the field name here, I mean rank student name or mark or another field, if you not assign the specific field, so for the value that you have to put here, you need to put all value follow to the field that you had to add, or you or follow to the field that exists in a table. So you not only specify this field. Yeah. So for such statement is update. For update is mostly we use to update data from a table. Yes, with a specific condition. So you have to use a update statement. Here you use update keyword, and then update to table, update table set. Yes. So update table set, and then use specific field name. You specify a field name and equal to a new value that you want to change. And one more, please all students beware a condition. Condition is very important. It's not you assign the where condition. So mean that all value that you assign here, it will all update in from one table. So you must beware and you must carefully in using the update statement. So you must assign where condition. If not, all field from one table that you assign in your value will be changed. Okay, for the last is delete. For delete is we use for delete data from table permanently. So similarly to the where condition, you have to use delete. Yes, delete from is a keyword and student is table where condition. So delete from student where, and then you assign a condition which student, example, which row that you want to assign with this condition. Okay, but you have to be aware also about the where condition. For delete statement, students should be assigned a where condition, because if you not assign a where condition, the result is all data from a table will be deleted. So you must be aware here before you using the delete or update statement. Okay. So for DDL as summary, we have four main statement. One is for select. Select statement is used for retrieving data from the database. Okay. For insert, we insert a new data into a table. For update, we use to update an existing data from a table with a condition. And finally, a delete statement is used for delete data from a table. Example, I have a table here. Yes, I have a table student. I can use new query. Okay, I can use new query here. Right click and new query. I can use select. Yes, select guy from student TBL. Okay, and then I execute it. So I have two rows. And I also can select a specific field. Example, I just want to get a full name. So I select a first name, concatenate with single quote by use plus sign. And then I use last name from TBL to student. And then I can select to execute. I can get only first name and last name. And I can assign as full name to be assigned name by here. When I use select first name last name without as full name, it don't have the column name here. So I want to assign a column name for it. I use this one as keyword, and then I get a full name here. Okay. And then now I want to insert a new table, a new data into this table. So I use insert statement, insert into. By here, I don't want to specific any value. So I just assign a value into this table directly by insert into TBL student, and then I put value without specific fields like this. Example, first name, last name also. So I just want to insert all data into this table. So I can use value, yes, here. And then I put first name. Why no ID? Because ID, when the last day, I have shown you ID is a primary key, and I set it as auto increment one by one. Okay. So I can put a testing, and then here I put testing for last name. Okay, and I put male or female, and then I put that. For that time you have to assign first is year, First is year, and then you can assign month. Okay, so like this. And for activate is Boolean field true false. Is 1 is true or false is 0. So I assign 0, and then I select on it and insert into this table. So it shows that's one row of I show. I select it back, so this table comes. So now I can update it by use update TBL student. Here I want to update 0 into 1 and testing to another name by this ID. So I update TBL student set first name equal I can put sub, and then last name I can assign a string is sub with example, and then I can assign activate into 1. Yes, what is most important, student must assign the condition where condition here. But here if I don't assign the where condition by just choose this statement, so all field will update into first name sub and last name business, and activate must be to 1. So for all field. So now I just want to update a specific field is ID where ID equals 3. So I can assign where statement, and then I select on it, and then execute. So when I retrieve it back from this table, this field will update to software and activate to be 1. Okay. Similarly, for update also you can use delete, or for delete statement you can just delete, yes, delete from and TBL student if you not specify which field without where condition. So mean that all field from this table student will delete. So now I don't want to delete all field. I just want to delete the last field that I assigned. So I can where ID equals 3. So here mean that I delete student that have ID number 3. Okay. So for here is DDL statement, DML statement that you have learned. So one is insert, select, insert, update, and then delete. So now DDL is we are focusing on some statement here: create, alter, and drop table. So it's very easy for you to create a table. So I just overview about it because kind of this statement you already learned in the semester 1. So for create a table, you have to use create statement. So create statement here, you create assign table name. Yes, create table name, and then create table, and then you put a table name. Open break and close break with semicolon, and then you assign here ID integer not now. So it means that I have create an ID field to employee table as integer, and this field must be input when you assign a new field, a new record. Okay. So what is important that I want employee understand is primary key. So primary key here, it means that I assign a primary key to ID field. So one table, as rule, one table should be created an ID for that table. Example here, I want to assign a primary key to ID field, so I just assign ID integer not and primary key. So primary key you can put equal to this line. It doesn't matter. So it's work at the same thing. Okay, for the second statement is alter. For alter, you can mean that you after you create a table and then you want to change those table, that table. So you can use alter statement. So alter mean that you can alter add a column, mean that you can alter a table by adding a new field, or modify a column name, modify a column. I mean that example, you have 5 fields, you want to alter a column by change its field type. I mean data type. Example, you can change from a varchar into n varchar. Yes. And then you can alter drop. It means that it drop a column. Yes. Maybe some column do not need to provide to a table, so you can delete it from those table by using drop statement. So alter table drop. One more L is rename column or rename table. So you can use rename a column to rename a column name. Example, you want to change first name to full name. Example, yes, that's one you have to use rename statement, and also rename a table. So let's see together. One is add statement. I use alter table name here, TBL name. Any name that you want to change, and add column definition. So here column definition is mean that mostly we are focusing on the data type of n table of a field yes. So example, I put alter table, add new field called salary, and assign column definition is varchar and length is 50. Okay. For modify, also very similar. You can alter table name and modify a column name. Okay, so you can alter table employee modify salary. So here you can see salary I assign 50 length, but here I change it, modify. I mean that I change a column name called salary from a table employee by set it as varchar and length is 100. Okay, one more drop column. You just use a drop column into alter statement. So alter table name, drop column name. Okay, so you can use alter table, any table name, and drop column of that table and column name. Okay, example, alter table employee, drop column salary that I just create for it. Okay. For drop, it means that it's very easy for you. Drops mean that it drop a table from drop a table from a schema or drop a table from database. So you just drop, use keyword drop table and specific a table. So here I drop table student. So I mean that I want to delete student table from a database. Okay. Okay, for DDL, you can use kind of this thing. Okay. One more error is what is truncate. Yes, truncate is mean that it will remove all row from a table. And then you have to know one thing for truncate. Example, I assign a field. I create a table with auto increment field for ID. So here, if I use truncate, it will remove all. It will remove all field from table, and then that ID will start counting by 1. Yes, start counting by 1. So for truncate, I confirm. Truncate is for is used for to delete all data from a table, and then for auto increment field, example like ID, it will start from 1. Okay, at the beginning. So everyone, you can use truncate, delete and drop in SQL in practicing, and then I will assign you. Everyone, you can create any table and test all query that I have teach from the beginning, and then you use this kind of statement to work on those on a table or on multi-table by using our statement. Okay, for DCL is used for grant. Okay, the abbreviation of DCL is data control language. It's defined control over the data in a database. We have 2 different commands which are grant. Grant is allowed to do specific user to specific task. So example here, I create a grant. Syntax a grant privilege name. So a name of privilege that I want to assign on subject, on object name to user, blah, 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 and grant option. So you can use it to, you can use it to specific type. Example, you want a user to work on a table just only 2 commands. By one is insert or 2 is update. So you can use grant to control it. So everyone, you can find more from internet about the grant privilege. So it will show you more about how to use grant. Okay, and then in the class we will practice on it more. Okay, the same thing for revoke. For revoke, it is you grant and then you can revoke it. Understand what I said? So you assign a permission or you assign a specific task to a user to do a one task. So now you can revoke it. You can revoke it, means you can remove or cancel that task from that user. Yeah, from that user. Yes, just like this for revoke. Okay. Homework. One, you can everyone can see grant, read and write, and revoke permission to a user in SQL Server. So try to create a table and use grant command line. Yes, use grant command line. And then for TCL transaction control language. Okay, so here is we are focusing on rollback. So rollback command is used to restore the database for the last committed step. It also used without with cell point to jump to the cell point. Okay, so it means that you can roll back. You write something. Example, you insert data into a table 100 table, and then you delete it. And now you want to roll back it to the previous task. So you can use rollback command. Yeah, you can use rollback command. For cell point, yes, you can assign a name, cell point name to work for rollback. Okay. So here is the fundamental SQL. I believe that you already learned from the semester 1, but here I just show a summary for you for all select statement. Even no more select with conditions, select with group by, select with aggregation, group with having close order by, and something else. Okay, for false, it's very important that we need to apply in this semester because the type, because the join will work on multiple table. Before you learn about a join, I believe everyone understand about the diagram, and you know about the set flow of one table to another table and to another table. So in diagram, it will show you about what you have designed database or table, and then you have to use it. You use join query statement to retrieve multiple data from those database based on diagram. Yes, based on diagram. So join, we have 4 main join query statement. By one is an inner join, second left join, right is outer join, third right outer join, and fourth is full outer join. So for join inner join, it means that it will like all data from table with that match. I mean the match between primary key and foreign key from one table in another table. So it just only select existing data that match between primary key and foreign key from one table to another relationship table. Example, for selecting by using inner join, you have to use select a specific name from a table inner join to another table where condition. Here on means that it will find primary key and foreign key. Example, the last week I showed you about the student and major. So student have a primary key ID, and in the student major have student ID as a foreign key. So you have to use primary key and foreign key of that table to equal each other. So if it match all data from those tables, it will query out. But for another data that's not match, it will not retrieve. Okay, for inner join, it must be like this. So you can see the image here, table 1 and table 2. So what that has match here, it's not select all data from those tables, but it just only select that existing data with that join, yes, that join together. So for one more is left join. Yes, left join is different from inner join. It means that left join, it will query all data from the left side and get only data from the right side that's match between ID, primary key and foreign key of that table. So mean that the left join, it means that it will get all data from the left table, all table. So to match the data from the right table. So the right table only select that data that primary key and foreign key existing. But for none data from the left side, it will display null. It will display null. I will tell about you a real example in the class. Okay, it must be like this. So one rule you have to understand. Left join, it must select all data from the left table and get only data from the right table with join, that it join together. Yep. So for the right join is opposite from the left join. Yes, from the left join. So it will select all data from the right table and match to the data from the left table only existing of ID and I mean it will only primary key and foreign key that's match together, but other will not get. But for right join, it will get all data and display null for get data from all table from the right side, and it will display null if it's not matched to the left table, just like this. Yeah, it will select all data from the table 2, and for the table 1, it will select only what that have joined. I mean, the primary key and foreign key that's matched together. Yeah. So for full outer join, it means that it will combine left join and right join together. So it will select all data from the left side and right side. So for data from the left side and right side that's matched, it will display all data. But for data that does not match, it will display only null value. Yes, null value. So here, I will detail all of you about the join very deeply when we start class, face-to-face class, I mean. Yes, and we will practice all together for what will we learn in this week? What will we learn in this chapter? So everyone, you can see summarize and please read the question for review and practice on this homework. And then in the class, I will assign a new homework for you. Okay, thank you everyone and see you in class soon. See you everyone.